guys, so for this recipe, you're going to need some vanilla wafers, some flour, some milk. I am using some whole milk. You're also going to need, well, actually, you just need 4 cups of something. So I'm using whole milk and healthy whipping cream. You need sugar, some allspice, some bananas, some vanilla, and of course some type of pan. Oh, I forgot to tell you, some butter as well. And then you need some sort of pan or dish or bowl to put it in, and some eggs. Okay guys, so this part is one of the easiest things you can do. You're basically just going to be layering your vanilla cookies with your bananas. You can use any type of vanilla cookies that you prefer. I prefer the Nella brand, the Nella wafers, just because I feel like the taste is right on point for this banana pudding. A lot of people I've seen are starting to use the Pepperidge Farm Chessman cookies as well. I heard that was really good, but I have not tried it yet. And oh, one more thing I was going to tell you. Yeah, I'm adding some crunched up cookies in there because I'm making this one specifically for my aunt, and she had specific instructions for me. She wanted a lot of cookies in it. She wanted the actual pudding portion of it really thick, and she wanted a lot of it. Everyone has their own preferences for banana puddings. That is hers. So I am making this to her liking, but I also thought, I'll just film it just to show you guys kind of how I make it. But then I want to show you again how I make mine. I'll probably do that in a later video. But anyway, right now we're just going to be layering bananas on here, just on top of the cookies. So I'm also removing any of the dark spots on these bananas. These bananas were a little old. I got them from Aldi. So taking any of that stuff off just because it kind of gives a bitter taste sometimes. Okay, and at this point I'm just going to keep layering until I have 3 layers of cookies and 2 layers of bananas. So basically you want to end with a layer of cookies on top, if that makes sense. So you'll have cookies, bananas, and then cookies. And here we are. You can see we ended with a layer of cookies on top. Also, don't worry about those gaps or trying to get the cookies right beside each other. You need those gaps because that's where your delicious pudding is going to fall through. So now we're going to take a stick of butter, or in my case, 2 half sticks of butter, and this is unsalted. We're going to go ahead and put it in a pot and turn it on medium heat. And while we're doing that, I'm taking my heavy whipping cream. You can take any milk that you prefer. You're just going to need 4 cups of it. I'm taking about 3 cups of the heavy whipping cream and 1 cup of regular whole milk. Like I said, you can use any type of milk that you prefer. I'm just using this one because my aunt wanted like a really rich custard. So I'm going in with that heavy whipping cream. Okay, so your pot should be on the stove and that butter should be melting into your dairy milk mixture, whatever you have in there. You're going to go through and add 2 cups of sugar. You need 2 full cups of sugar, and you're just going to pour that into that mixture and just give it a good stir so that sugar incorporates into that milk. I love the taste of this, like a really sweet buttery milk. I don't know, I'm weird. Anyway, I love that. Okay, so we have this on medium heat, and you just want to keep stirring until all of this is incorporated together. Now we are going to take 4 eggs and we're going to separate them. The easiest way to do this is to have 2 little bowls nearby. Have 1 bowl for your yolks, 1 bowl for your egg whites, because we need all 4 of these yolks. Okay guys, moment of transparency. I was not focused at all. I was actually on the phone when I was cooking and doing a couple other things. And then this happened. Yeah, okay, so not a big deal because we're using the egg yolks for this recipe. Now, if we were using the egg whites, I would have had to just like put this to the side and start over again because I got yolk in it. But we're using the yolks instead of the whites, so we're good. Now, I took a spoonful of that warm milk mixture and I am stirring it into my egg yolks. The reason I'm doing this is so once I add my yolks to the pan, they don't scramble, if that makes sense. I'm warming them up gradually, so once I put them in that warm milk, it's not such a shock. And we are just going to pour this right in and keep on stirring. And I know it seems like this is taking forever. Of course, you could do it over higher heat, but you don't want to. You see, I've done all this and the butter still really isn't melted yet. That is by design because you do not want to cook your homemade pudding way too fast. You want to keep it low and slow. All right, so now I'm dishing some more of that milk mixture out. I dished out about 4 or 5 tablespoons of it, maybe 6 tablespoons. It doesn't really matter. Now I'm adding some flour to it. This is going to thicken up our pudding mixture. And listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, making a pudding is not the easiest thing in the world, especially like this. That's why most people make banana pudding with a pre-made pudding mix, but if you ever had it homemade, it is not the same. So I took about 4 tablespoons of flour. Yours may vary depending on how much you are making, and you just want to stir it in your milk mixture. If it's starting to look way too thick, add a little more of your milk mixture to your small bowl. Get it nice and smooth, and then we are going to add it to the pots. To this flour mixture, you're also going to add some shakes of allspice, about a teaspoonful, and we're just going to stir that in really nicely as well. Alright guys, once you have this blended out nicely, we're just going to add that flour mixture in here to our pudding, and I should say the seasoned flour mixture since we added that allspice. And then you want to get your stir on, make it nice and smooth, and this is going to thicken it up for you. Alright guys, 12 minutes into stirring, and it is looking like this. You see it's coming to a very soft boil. I am still stirring so it doesn't develop a thick skin over the top, and I'm going to switch to my whisk, and I'm just going to spend minutes just whisking at this point. So to test if your pudding is thick enough, just stick a spoon in it. If it coats the spoon and doesn't run down all the way, it is done. This is the consistency that my aunt wanted. It's very, very, very thick. Now, if you want just a regular traditional banana pudding, I would implore you to go ahead and take it off the stove before this point. If you want it like a little thinner, like a glaze over the top, but you will see hers more of a custard than like a glaze type pudding. Anyway, so I just added some vanilla in, about a tablespoon, and I'm just incorporating it in nicely. And I'm also stirring to get some air through there and to help cool it down because it's pretty hot at this point. And now the best part, we are just going to pour it over there. And you see why we left those gaps in? Because that pudding gets all in those nooks and crannies, and it seeps down and it soaks those bananas and those vanilla wafers, and it just, oh, it's magnificent. Now you can really stop around this point if you want because it'll soak down, and you see how it's already getting in there. But my aunt specifically requested one with a lot of pudding on it, so I actually added some more. Now I'm taking just a knife, and I'm not cutting it, I'm just moving it kind of back and forth since this pudding is so thick to aid it in getting to the bottom. And this is just like a little trick that I learned with like thicker puddings. It just kind of helps it get to the bottom a little bit better. So I gave her specifically what she asked for, which was a banana pudding with a lot of the pudding custard on top. However, I didn't like the way it looked, so I'm just adding a few more cookies on top just because I just couldn't. It just didn't look right to me. So I'm adding a few cookies, kind of stacking them up around the side, and then we'll be done. Okay guys, and here we are. This is the finished product. Like I said, this is exactly what my aunt wanted. I don't put this much pudding on my banana puddings that I make for myself. I like a good little balance, but here we go. I also called her to see if I can take a slice of it just so I could show you guys what it looked like, and she agreed. So this is it. And you see it's very, very thick, but like I said, that's what she wanted. I like mine just a little bit more runny, if that makes sense, but anywho, there we go. So I was like, well, since I'm gonna have a slice, I might as well add a little whipped topping to it, which I did, and it actually came out really, really good. She may be onto something. It was great. I think I still like mine a little more runny. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Definitely give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you in the next video. Bye guys.